Okay, before we proceed to our proper discussion, let us first read our classroom rules. Everybody read. R. Respect. Treat your fellow students and teachers with respect and kindness. U. Use electronic devices appropriately and only when allowed. L. Listen attentively. E. Engage actively, participate in class activities and discussions with enthusiasm. And letter S. Submit assignments on time.
A pleasant day, everyone. My name is Rosemary de los Santos, and today we will be discussing about the Archimedes law. But before that, I would like to ask you a question, and it is, what is fluid? Or in your own words, what is fluid? And is liquid and gases considered as fluid? How do you say so? Okay, so based on research, fluid is about any substance that can flow and alter its shape. So pag sinabi nating alter, ito yung mga substance na kung saan kaya niyang baguhin yung mga hugis niya. And in that definition, we can say that liquid and gases can be considered as fluid because liquid and gases are the particles that can move freely and can alter the shape of its container. So why did I ask about fluid? Because our topic for today is connected to it. Archimedes' law, or what we call the Archimedes principle. I will tell you a story behind why thus Archimedes principle was made. So it is actually a famous story. So a long time ago, there was an ancient Greek king named King Heron. King Heron ordered his goldsmen to make him a golden crown. And of course, the goldsmen created one. But the king had his doubts about the purity of the gold. That is why he sought for the help of the famous local inventor and scientist of their town, Archimedes, to test whether the crown is a pure gold or not. Of course, Archimedes obliged. But napakahirap para sa kanya na i-test yung crown, sabi ni Archimedes sa isip niya. Because it is very valuable for the king and hindi naman niya pwedeng basta-bastang hawakan yung crown or i-test lang yung crown. Kasi nga, para yun sa king. That is why in order for him to think thoroughly, he goes back to his house and decided to take a bath. When he tried to submerge his body onto his bathtub, he observed that there is water being spilled into the bathtub's edge. And when he tried to submerge his body more into the bathtub, there's also more water being spilled into the bathtub's edge. And in that manner, he realized that maybe there must be a relationship between his weight and the weight of the water being displaced. And also, Archimedes realizes that a pure gold is less dense than any other metal like silver, bronze, or others. And the higher the density, the lower its volume. So, Archimedes realizes that when he tried to put the golden crown into a container filled with water, of course, it will spill less water than a golden crown which is not really pure. And in that manner, Archimedes was very overwhelmed. He dashed into his town, goes out on his bathtub in order for him to go to the king's palace and shouted, "Eureka, Eureka," briefly forgetting that he had no clothes on. So, meaning, tumakbo siya sa town nila nang walang damit, kahit isang damit na suot. Kasi nga na-excite siya. So, in that way, naging sikat yung word ni Archimedes na Eureka, which means I have found it, and naging sikat din yung law niya na Archimedes law. Okay, because we now understand what is the Archimedes law, let's proceed to what is buoyancy. Ano nga ba itong buoyancy? So according to research, buoyancy is something that an object will float and at the same time will sink in either water or in air. Okay, so imagine that you are holding a slightly heavy object such as pebble or stone. So when we try to submerge the pebble into the water, or a container filled with water, of course, the pebble will sink, right? And when we try to put a tightly closed empty bottle, like this, into a container filled with water, of course, it will definitely float. And in that manner, the concept of buoyancy is being placed. Okay, so when we try to submerge or exert effort to push this empty bottle into the container filled with water, we will notice that there is an upward force pushing the bottle in order for the bottle to go back into the surface. And when we try to lift the bottle, it will rush back into the surface on its own. Okay? But when we try to exert more force, pushing the bottle deeper into the container filled with water, we will notice that there is more upward force pushing the bottle upward in order for the bottle to go back to the surface. And when we release the bottle, it will rushly goes back to the surface on its own faster than we do it before. So, meaning to say, the upward force is what we call the buoyant force. And the fluid pressure increases as with depth. Meaning to say, fluid pressure is directly proportional to depth. Kung mas malaking force yung ginugugol natin na pinupush natin yung isang object deeper sa isang container, mas marami ding force ang magpupush back sa isang container. Di ba? Imagine, yung nagsiswimming tayo. When we try to dive, pag pumupunta talaga tayo sa pinakailalim, di ba napapansin natin, meron ding force na tumutulak sa katawan natin para bumalik sa surface. That is why causing our body to float into the surface of the water or like in oceans. And that force is what we call the buoyant force. So hindi na dapat tayo magtaka kung bakit parang pinupush back tayo kasi ang tawag sa force na nagpupush sa ating pabalik is buoyant force. And now, dahil naliwanagan na tayo kung ano nga ba itong buoyant force, let's proceed to the formula in calculating the buoyancy or the buoyant force. We have here the formula in calculating the buoyancy. It is the buoyant force is equal to the raw multiplied by the gravitational force and multiplied by the volume, where Fp is the buoyant force, rho is the density of the liquid where the object is immersed in kilogram per cubic meter, volume, which measured in cubic meter, and also the gravitational acceleration, which is measured as the meter per second squared and has the constant of 9.81 meter per second squared. So ito yung gagamitin natin na formula in terms of calculating the buoyant force of an object. Para malaman natin kung paano nga ba isolve ang buoyancy, we have here a sample problem. Okay, so calculate the buoyant force on a rock with a mass of 32 kg and a density of 2,800 kg per cubic meter when fully submerged in water with a density of 1,000 kg per cubic meter. So, when we say fully submerged, nilulubog talaga yung mismong object. Fully na nalubog. Hindi siya half, hindi full. And as we observe, meron tayong mass ng ating rock. Meron din tayong density ng rock, which is yung mass is 32 kg and its density is 2,800 kg per cubic meter. And we also have the density of our water, which is 1,000 kg per cubic meter. So, hindi naman pwede na dalawa yung density natin. And as you observe, wala pa tayong volume ng ating rock. So, we need to find the volume of it. So, paano nga ba natin kukunin yung volume? Okay, so, para kunin natin yung volume, of course, kailangan na gamitin natin ito. Gumamit ako ng triangle method. So, paano nga ba gawin ang triangle method? Isusulat lang natin yung proper na formula ng density, which is rho is equals to mass over volume. This line, itong vertical line represents the multiplication. While this horizontal line represents the division. Okay, so ang proper formula ng density is rho is equal to mass over volume. So, division siya. Ang kukunin natin is ang volume, of course. So, para makuha siya, madali lang to. Dahil volume ang kukunin natin, first kailangan na nasa labas yung volume. So, volume is equal to mass over density. So, ito na yung proper na formula para makuha natin yung volume ng ating rock. So, volume is equals to mass over density, which is, our mass is 32 kg over the density of our rock, which is the 2,800 kg per cubic meter. So, dahil ang volume, kailangan natin na cubic meter lang ng labas niya, ika-cancel natin yung kilogram at saka kilogram ng ating mass at saka density. So, ang maiiwan na lang is cubic meter. So, when we divide 32 kg to 2,800 kg per cubic meter, we will have the answer 0.011 cubic meter. So, this will be now our volume of our rock. Dahil meron na tayong volume, ang kukunin na natin ngayon is ang ating buoyant force. And always remember that our answer should be in Newton. Okay? So, ang formula ng ating buoyant force is Fb is equals to rho multiplied by gravitational acceleration and our volume. Okay? So, ito ang formula niya. Then, isa-substitute lang natin yung mga value ng ating volume, gravitational acceleration, which is constant siya, and yung ating rho. or what we call our density. So, our density is 1,000 kilogram per cubic meter. Our gravitational force is 9.8 meter per second squared. And our volume is 0.011 cubic meter. So, as you can see, di ba, ginawa kong kilogram over cubic meter and meter per second squared. Because, pag sinabi kasi natin kilogram per cubic meter, it means that it is division. So, i-over natin siya in order for us to cancel out. Diba? Wala tayong maka-cancel kung multiplication siya lahat. And this is the proper way. So, ika-cancel natin yung meter, cubic meter of our density and the cubic meter of our volume. So, dahil na-cancel na natin siya, i-multiply lang natin itong mga value lahat-lahat. So, after we multiply, we will get the answer 107.8 kilogram times meter per second squared, or is equals to 107.8 Newton. So, kung naguguluhan kayo, bakit naging Newton, eh hindi ko naman siya nag-cancel, wala na akong ginawang cancellation. Iniwan ko yung kilogram multiplied by meter per second squared, di ba? Kasi ang pagkuha po ng ating Newton, ang proper formula niya is kilogram multiplied by meter per second squared. So we don't need to cancel out the meter per second squared and the kilogram. Ito cubic meter lang yung i-cancel out natin para makakuha tayo ng Newton niya. Kasi itong kilogram multiplied by meter per second is equals to Newton. So diretso na siya, 107.8 kilogram multiplied by meter per second squared, or 107.8 Newton. Okay, always remember ha, Newton is equals to kilogram multiplied by meter per second squared. We don't need to cancel it out. Okay? So, para mas maintindihan pa natin, we will solve a simple problem about buoyancy pa rin. Okay, we have here our second problem. Okay, let's read. So, a cube with a side length of 2 meters is floating halfway submerged in a fluid with a density of 500 kilogram per cubic meter. Determine the buoyant force of the object. So, as you can see in the illustration, since half of our cube is submerged, our height will become 1 meter and our length and our width will become 2 meters each. Since it is just halfway submerged, mananatiling 2 meters ang kanyang length ng ating cube at ang width ng ating cube. Kasi half lang yung nakalubog dito. So as you can see, ito yung tubig niya and this is the cube. So dahil half lang yung na-submerge, yung height niya is magiging half. So ang half ng 2 is 1. Okay? Dahil half ang nakalubog, 1 yung nakalubog and 1 din yung hindi nakalubog. So ang gagamitin natin na height is yung 1 meter. And our length and our width is 2. The same lang sila. So we all know how to get the volume of a cube, right? That is, volume is equals to length times width times height. So para masolve natin yon, mano-mano tayo magsosolve sa ating board. So in finding the volume, we need to put the equation V is equal to length times width times height, where length is equal to 2 meter, our width is equal to 2 meter as well, and our height, which is 1 meter. So we will just multiply these three values. So to multiply it, 2 times 2, 4, multiplied by 1, it will be 4 meter cube or 4 cubic meter. So this will be our volume. So dahil meron na tayong volume, which is 4 cubic meter, we will now solve our buoyant force. So volume is lalagay natin dito, which is 4 cubic meter. Our density, which is 500 kilogram per cubic meter, and our gravitational acceleration, which is 9.8 meter per second squared. So ito yung mga value na ilalagay natin in terms of finding our buoyant force. So sinulat ko lang siya para hindi kayo malito. Okay, then meron na tayong value ng ating volume, ng ating density, and ng ating gravitational acceleration. Now we will find our buoyant force. So the formula of our buoyant force is equal to density multiplied by our gravitational acceleration and our volume. So to find the buoyant force, we will just place the value of each. Okay? So isusolve natin siya sa kabilang board. Okay, the value of our rho, or the density, is 500 kilogram per cubic meter. And the value of our gravitational acceleration is 9.8 meter per second squared. And the volume of volume will be 4 cubic meter. So this T3 rather is the value of it. So we will just multiply these 3, but before that we will cancel the cubic meter and direct multiply it. The buoyant force is equal to 500 kilogram multiplied by 9.8 meter per second squared multiplied by 4, we will have 19,600 kilogram multiplied by meter per second squared. Or it will be 19,600 Newton. So the buoyant force of our cube, which is halfway submerged onto a container filled with water, is 19,000 Newton. Ito na yung sagot niya. Always remember the Newton ha. Na Newton para makuha siya, the formula of it is kilogram multiplied by meter per second squared. So we don't need to cancel the kilogram, the meter per second squared in the given. Okay? Direct na ang ika-cancel out natin is ang cubic meter. Ganyan lang kadali ang pagkuha ng ating buoyant force. Hope na meron kayong na-learn. We will just erase the writings on the board and then solve tayo ng another problem. Okay. Kung hindi pa kayo nabufor, meron na naman tayong another problem. So, dalawa yung problem na nilagay ko, but yung magiging assignment nyo. Okay? So, our problem is, a small sailboat displaces 30 cubic meter of seawater with a density of 1,128 kilogram per cubic meter. Determine the buoyant force on the sailboat. So, madali lang siya kasi meron na tayong value ng ating volume, meron na din tayong value ng ating density, and of course, dahil given na yung ating gravitational acceleration, which is 9.8 meter per second squared or 9.81 meter per second squared. Either gamitin nyo 9.8 or 9.81 meter per second squared, okay lang siya. Kasi, given siya or constant siya. So, para mas maintindihan ninyo kung paano i-calculate or paano i-solve ang ating buoyant force, you need to solve it by yourself. Okay? Note that ito, yung panghuling problem will be an assignment. Okay? Hope you cope up with my lesson and I am hoping na meron kayong natutunan. So again, I am Rosemary Lozano. Bye! Thank you!